April 9th, 2026. Right now, the most important meeting in Formula One is happening. FIA, Formula One, all 11 teams and 5 engine manufacturers are in one virtual room asking, how do we fix the 2026 regulation mess? 3 races in, after a 50G Suzuka crash, a 4-time champion hinting retirement, drivers calling the cars Mario Kart, and fans wondering why the fastest machines slow on the straights. They need answers before Miami on May 3rd. Here's what's on the table, what could change by Miami, and how Mercedes and Ferrari might try to block it. Why today? Because the first 3 races gave the FIA real-world data, qualifying disasters, race incidents, driver feedback, and Behrman's 50G at Suzuka. Today's session is for technical directors. Think diagnosis day. Doctors in a room, staring at the X-ray, deciding which surgery is needed. The vote comes April 20th, when team principals meet with FIA and F1 officials. Anything approved goes to the World Motorsport Council. The deadline? Miami, May 3rd, before freight locks. That's the window. First, our priorities. 1. Safety from closing speeds. Reduce surprise deltas and keep cars predictable. 2. Qualifying performance. Unlock one-lap pace without compromising stability. 3. Speed drop-off on straights. Hold top end so you're not a sitting duck. Think of it as a 3-pillar plan. Safety, qualifying, straights. Now, what's happening on track? Lift and coast smooths closing speeds into corners, sudden decel spikes, risk stack-ups and lost confidence. We need controlled approaches for traffic, then full commitment laps for quali without dirty entry surprises. 6 solution buckets on the table. Aero trim and wing angle. ERS and power deployment, shift points and gearing, DRS usage strategy, braking maps and tire warm-up, and driver ops, defined lift and coast windows. We'll run each for impact, risk, and what's realistic by Miami. First, qualifying. Current cap is 9 megajoules per lap, already trimmed to 8 MJ for Japan. Drop it to 7 MJ and you likely add around a second. At 6 MJ, roughly double that. Less energy to harvest means less lifting and coasting, and fewer superclipping slowdowns. With the recharge ceiling lower, drivers can actually push, corner to corner. Headline pace may read slower on paper, but the feel is cleaner. A 129 on the ragged edge beats a 128 micromanaged by battery. Net effect, fewer clipped moments, better push laps, and a truer qualifying lap. Second, MGU-K ramp down. Right now, the rules allow only a 50 kilowatt drop every second, 100 at some tracks, and the cut starts at 340 kilometers per hour. Proposal: trigger earlier and smooth the ramp so power falls more gradually. That makes closing speeds more predictable and safer for the car behind. Third, active aero. Straight mode currently works only in FIA zones, cutting drag by 25 to 40%. Alternative: unleash it. Let teams deploy wherever and whenever to stretch battery life and ease superclipping. Powerful idea. Complex to validate fast. Advantages: longer stints, cooler packs, higher top speed on demand, cleaner passes without creating artificial trains. But the catch: rules, safety, and software exploits need strict telemetry limits and third-party validation. Safety fix pushed by Carlos Sainz: clearer rear light signals so the car behind knows if the leader is harvesting, deploying, or in transition. Think hazard lights for energy state, distinct patterns that call out harvest, deploy, and the crossover. Clear icons on the HUD, mirrored on broadcast graphics, so drivers and fans read the signal instantly. The goal is simple. Give the following car a split-second warning on exits and straights. Less surprise, fewer accordion checks, safer packs. Cheap, simple, fast to implement. Standardized rear light patterns. Spec it into the regs, test in practice, deploy in race. And yes, at Suzuka, that extra cue might have prevented the crash. Here's the problem. Mercedes and Ferrari, currently 1-2, are expected to block major changes, limited tweaks to qualifying only. Toto Wolff praised the racing and dismissed critics. Fred Vasseur called it good for everyone. Meanwhile, a 50G crash, drivers furious, a world champion talking retirement. The politics are obvious. The winners like today's rules. There's a business layer too. Formula One cannot afford to lose Max Verstappen. He draws audiences, sells merch, turns grandstands orange, and anchors sponsor spend. Broadcasters see it in ratings graphs, promoters in attendance heat maps, teams in sell-through reports. His presence lifts markets across Europe, the Americas, and Asia. That commercial gravity may matter more on April 20th than any radio rant. Boardrooms will be staring at one slide. Retention risk. So what's realistic? Qualifying will change. Expect the recharge limit to fall, likely towards 7 megajoules, maybe 6. Lowest complexity, biggest clarity. Keep it simple, make it fast. Stopwatches tell the story. Sector after sector, turning green. Miami could finally deliver real push laps again. Safety fixes should land too. Clearer warning lights, and a smoother ramp down. After Suzuka and Behrman's crash, nobody can argue against them. Expect quick green lights from stewards and teams. Reenactments show reduced closing speed deltas when ramp down smooths power. Less surprise, more margin. Telemetry from Suzuka tells the story. So fix it now. Visibility, warnings, and phased slowdowns. Stamped, implemented, monitored before the next lights out. What won't change before Miami? The race DNA. Yo-yo overtakes, boost battles, energy lotteries. The big shifts, cutting electric power, rebalance ice electric, scrapping zones, are long lead items. Think 2027 at the earliest. The teams most hurt, Red Bull, Aston Martin, McLaren, are shouting for change. The winners aren't. Martin Brundle calls Miami a relaunch, one of F1's biggest resets. If qualifying is fixed, it could be spectacular. F1 2026 is being decided right now. Rule makers, winners, and teams begging for change. Fix qualifying, Miami sings. Nail safety, no more Behrman moments. Do nothing, Mercedes wins from pole. Max wonders why he's here. Crisis. I'll cover today's outcomes. The April 20 vote, Miami. What changes? Quali, racing, or burn it down? Comment, subscribe. Peace.